30. It can mean a variety of things. For example, it could mean the number of dollars you have in your wallet, or the number of kids in a certain class. However, 30 means something very special to me. It's the grade of my first ever exam in high school. Now hear me out. I've done quite a lot of stupid things and had a lot of horrible moments in high school. I mean, come on. I walked on the quad in freshman year, have gotten lost my way to class more times than I can count, and embarrassingly tripped down the stairs many times in comical fashion. It's extremely difficult to do anything worse, but I achieved it by getting a 30 on my first ever exam in biology. You know, at first I was bummed over this one grade because I had a C average in the class for a few months. However, I ended up learning about the value of failure. I know every single person watching this video has had failure occur to them in high school, some worse than others. It is not the degree of failure that matters though, but the lesson it teaches us. We learn to bounce back and persevere. As someone who has had to deal with countless failures in a short tenure here, I believe I am well suited to the role of prefect. After all, prefects face a lot of setback and failure. As COVID regulations start to relax due to the introduction of the vaccine, I will assist in helping the school implement its activities without COVID regulations. On top of this, I will help introduce new activities such as different sport contests and more school dances. Though I will most likely fail in some of my endeavors, I will bounce back every time and strive for a better St. John's every single day. Thank you so much for listening to my speech, and vote Anshul Nayak for prefect.
Hello St. John's Mavericks, my name is Charlie Leach and I want to be your head prefect for the next school year. So far, I served a representative every year of high school, giving me the adequate experience to lead. Some of my other achievements at St. John's include being a part of the baseball team, known as the Zoo, and the record-setting 2018 JV2 basketball team, who went astounding 0-11. Now, I feel like I've learned a lot through my sports that have contributed to my ability to serve you as head prefect. First off, I stuck with my basketball team through the ups and downs, including a loss to St. Francis, which as some of you know, had a staggering 7 boys in their entire high school. Now, I don't want to spell it out for you, but that means they could only have 7 possible guys that could play against us. After suffering that loss, I know I can push through any challenge in order to improve our school. Others who know me know that I've been trying to bulk up for baseball. If you don't know me, I assume you're still not shocked. Perseverance and determination have helped me fill out my jersey a little bit. Although, for whatever reason, people have asked if I've gotten skinnier since quarantine, insisting I need to simply eat more, and I always respond with, oh, well, why didn't I think of that? However, this continued persistence in my personal goal will be reflected in achieving new feats in SAC in order to improve the house system and increase student participation in SAC. Now, I don't just come with characteristics, but also some truly exceptional ideas. For instance, introducing a new Bigfoot club, because we do have a resident top 100 Sasquatchit at our school. In conclusion, my time at St. John's has led me to be your ideal candidate for SAC head prefect. So, when you're voting, I hope you remember, be a peach, vote for Leach. Thank you.
Good afternoon, St. John's School. As some of you hopefully know, but most of you probably do not, I am Curtis Donovan, and I'm running to be one of your prefects. Well, I could stand up here and talk about all my plentiful, abundant, amazing accolades and qualities. I want to go a different way. Instead, I would like to demonstrate why I'm a good candidate by describing my attack plan if I was to find Bigfoot. At this moment, a thought is going through your heads. No way I have to listen to this kid talk for 60 seconds. Well, unfortunately you do, so you might as well make the most of this and let my genius go to work. Let me set the scene. I'm walking in the redwoods of California. Giant trees everywhere around. It's temperate weather, a nice day in the spring. Then I see him, a giant furry creature looking down on me, the Sasquatch. Now, if I was a basic Sasquatch, I would start to run, out of no course of action. Luckily, you're looking at a top 100 Sasquatch in North America. With a swift reach into my pocket, I would grab my phone and my Ziploc bag labeled Bigfoot feces. Then I would take a photo and immediately search the area for excrement. While this is a step most would avoid, I understand how crucial DNA would be to certify my claims to others. A photo would be assumed as fake. But if I walk into a lab with a Ziploc bag of feces and test the DNA, then they could never prove me wrong. Right after this, I would absolutely book it, running with the lightning speed that I'm so well known for. Now, through all of this, you probably think you have not seen any good qualities for a prefect. But just like Mr. Miyagi did in Karate Kid, I'm going to show you how wrong you are. The fact that I have a plan at all should show you something. I'm a well-prepared individual, and I'm ready for any situation. My taking a photo of Bigfoot and running away demonstrates my reasonability and situational awareness. But most importantly, my ability and willingness to retrieve the feces. That should show you that I would go a step above and beyond to be the best that I can be, along with making this school the best that it can be. Thank you so much for listening. Vote C-Dizzle, I got the sizzle. I'm gonna make this year magic like my name is Miss Frizzle.
Hi, my name is Elon Grossman, and I'm a national hero. I know, but wait, before you dismiss me, let me tell you my story. This past summer, I was chosen to be a counselor at Camp Blue Star, and like most things in the world, camp looked a little different this year. With most of our lifeguards typically coming from overseas, we lack the aquatic professionals we truly needed. As a last resort, we assembled the unofficial SEAL Team 6 2.0, composed of a dining hall staff member, the horseback director, a nurse, and of course, yours truly. Lifeguarding the algae-infested waters of Big Green was an intimidating task that not many wanted to do. Training was a rigorous 15 minutes, but those 15 minutes were the hardest of our lives. It had us prepared for every possible situation, such as when I saw that camper fall into the mean green. On a misty afternoon, our SEAL Team 6 finally had our first test. We sprung into action as we heard the missing camper alarm sound, and when I immediately looked towards the green machine, I saw a ripple in the depths. I sprinted across the dock and plunged headfirst into the green monster, diving down 15 feet to the crusty bottom. On all fours, I swept back and forth, finding nothing. I was still determined and hadn't lost faith that the camper was still out there. On my second dive, my right foot swept across a tough object, and with a surge of strength that brought it immediately up to the surface. I began CPR, but with no response, my pumps got quicker. That's when the horseback director screamed out, "Alon, stop! You're going to break the doll." I opened my eyes and realized it was all a test. Despite the fact that the camp is not only going to hire actual lifeguards for safety concerns, everyone realized that I have that fight or flight instinct in me. My commitment to the SEAL Team 6 should show you my determination and how far I'm willing to go for my student body. My natural instincts will help make this school the best it can be, so if you want to be saved from the depths of the sea, vote EG.
Hello everyone, my name is Garrett and I'm running for Prefect. This summer, I was given the honor of being the counselor to a bunch of 5-year-olds at a sailing camp. As many of you who have younger siblings know, they're extremely high energy and chaotic. During the month of June though, I found my calling as a walking jungle gym and a punching bag, while I futilely tried to force the kids to listen to more senior counselors. The problem was I was the only counselor who was allowed to be with the kids because of COVID, which suddenly meant I was the main one responsible for them. Being responsible for them also meant I had to answer all the questions only a 5-year-old could come up with. A few of my favorites being, should I have taken off my socks before getting in the water? And what is this, a jellyfish? Over the month, I had to get at least 100 bags of ice, 35 bottles of jellyfish sting spray, and answer over 1,000 questions that I couldn't have even thought of previously. However, after all the chaos finally ended and I was able to get my first night of sound sleep, I felt awesome about what I had just done. Particularly when I would see the kids again or when their parents would come up to me and tell me the stories they had heard of my exploits as a jungle gym. While I certainly had to take about a week to recharge and be able to socially interact with anyone, I still saw it as one of the best parts of my summer. The camp taught me 2 things. First, I am great at keeping my cool when I need to, and second, I love helping and leading people, even if it entails telling people not to pick up jellyfish. These traits will help me be an effective prefect at St. John's, as no matter the situation, I will always be willing to lead, even if it means being a punching bag from time to time to help St. John's. With my experience in SAG this year, I hope to further the work that has been done and also try to grow the houses where everyone is truly involved from all grade levels and houses. Thank you for your time, and remember, vote Gary to be 24 karat.
When I was a freshman serving on SAC, I wanted to make a big difference, so I came up with an epic Valentine's-themed SAC-tivity, origami rose making. I thought it was genius, but the rest of the upper school didn't because I was the only one that showed up. I overcame that disturbing failure and have learned how to plan events much better after 2.5 years on SAC. Hi, I'm Josh Siegel, and I want to be your next head prefect. I've matured since freshman year, had a glow up, you could say, and I want to demonstrate that next year with the Snack World Cup. All the best snacks will compete in a tournament bracket. Then, SAC will give out free snacks in pairs, and you'll vote for your favorite of the two until the best snack wins, and we have a SAC snack party. As a SAC member, I've also expanded the dress code by adding outerwear with new designs to the Spirit store, even if my onesies didn't get approved. Now, the real reason I'm here today is to present to you a truly revolutionary idea. Free pumpkins. When I was a sophomore, the prefects told me that a fall pumpkin patch with 687 pumpkins was, quote, the biggest waste of the SAC budget ever conceived. But I disagree, and next year we'll create the SAC pumpkin patch on the Great Lawn and give you a free pumpkin. You can name it, bake it into a pie, carve it into a friend. Your options are limitless. I want to give you choices, whether they're in the way you dress, the snacks you eat, or the pumpkins you befriend. If you choose Josh for head prefect, prepare yourself for many more choices.
Hi everyone, I'm Kate Willey and I want to be your head prefect. What a year it's been, from awkward eye contact during temperature checks to scenic lunches in the parking lot and events you didn't know could be virtual but now you're certain should not be. We've demonstrated our commitment to this school. St. John's is an incredibly important community to me, and I know that I can make our school so much better with my ideas and my drive. I moved to Houston from New York City in 7th grade, so I know what it feels like to be the new kid. I strive to be approachable and welcoming, and I'm always up to chat with you or listen to your concerns. I will be your representative, advocate, and fight on your behalf for the things you care about. Prefects need to take advantage of all the opportunities available to us at St. John's. I promise that if I'm elected, I'll work tirelessly to make next year more fun. I'm so passionate about improving your lives, and I hope you'll give me the opportunity to show it. I have many ideas for how we can promote a vibrant student life at St. John's. First, I propose we bring the therapy dogs into school more often, because I think we all know that finals is not the only stressful time of the year. Something else I've missed a lot this year is the sheer amount of free food on campus. As COVID restrictions hopefully ease up next year, SAC can supplement our nutritional ham and cheese pandemic rations with events centered around food. For example, we could do cupcake decorating contests, collaborate with clubs and affinity groups to sponsor potlucks, or organize an event where food trucks pull into the circle during lunch. I would also continue the spike ball, basketball, ping pong, and freeze tag games, in addition to a big capture the flag game or water gun fight on campus. I took my social distancing very seriously this spring. Instead of 6 feet, I went 1,400 miles away to DC for a semester program. But I can't wait to come back to school, to see you all, and to share in new experiences together. So if you want next year to be great, vote for Kate.
Hello, my name is Lily Peskoff, and I am running to be your next head prefect. I've always been nervous about the thought of speaking in front of the entire upper school, but at least this way I can imagine that you're laughing at all of my jokes. If you don't know me, you may have seen me on stage playing the drums, or at Pumpkin Park absolutely destroying as a junior on JV tennis. In addition, I'm also a dedicated member of SAC. After working my way from being a semester representative freshman and sophomore years to vice president of the junior class, I've shown that I can be trusted with SAC responsibilities. As a freshman, I ran weekly Name That Tunes inside Ms. Fogler's room, and I can safely say that's the only time I've ever been excited to be in a math classroom. Just kidding, Mr. Trujillo. And then last spring, I created and ran 7 weeks of virtual coffee house streamed live every week. It allows students to espresso their talents. Get it? Because coffee house. This year, I hosted the Pokemon Go tournament, worked on the environmental statement for the school, and ran, again, weekly Name That Tunes. You know, the Taylor Swift theme one by far had the most traction, and I wanted to put in a Taylor Swift pun here, but I'm not too familiar with her work, so I guess this is me trying. If elected, I will work to live up to the standards expected of a head prefect, be it through more house games, working with clubs to promote school activity, or fighting for more environmental initiatives. I will be an active member of SAC. This year was glum. The freeze, the pandemic, physics, all things I hope to never relive. That being said, with me as your head prefect, SAC and the school will be a lively and enjoyable place. Remember, LP for HP.
Hello classmates, I'm Liv Rubenstein, and I'm running for Upper School Dean of Students. I know what you're thinking. Liv, you're so young, and your skin looks so flawless in this lighting. To that I say thank you. I moisturize. But you're also thinking, you're utterly unqualified and completely inexperienced. What could you possibly bring to this fine institution? I know that my predecessor, the Honorable Dean Duncan, who is wholly unaware of my candidacy, has a couple things on me. 7 years experience, a driver's license, and a college degree. War Eagle. However, under my regime, I promise to bring St. John's to unbridled victory. The St. John's of tomorrow will break boundaries, crush our enemies, and use real straws. Gone are the days of turkey-themed free dress Fridays. As your dean, I will work closely with SAC to bring you an exquisite heart hop, memorable house games, and the best darn homecoming these storied cloisters have ever seen. Like the Ever Given plowing through the Suez, we will power through obstacles. As we emerge from the canal, we will carry with us $70 billion in damage to the global market and the reinstitution of senior country. To Dean Duncan and the board, I have one thing left to say. I've already updated my LinkedIn. The position is mine. However, in the event I have wildly misjudged both my audience and influence, I'll settle for prefect. Thank you for your time, and vote Liv.
What's up, Mavs? It's me, Matthew Press, and I want to be your head prefect. For those of you who don't know me, I've been on SAC for 2 years, I'm a wrestler, and I'm 6 feet in person. but the camera takes away a few 7 inches. You might know about a few projects I led, like Sack Hot Chocolate and Halloween Sack of Candy. Next year, we're going bigger and better. You've heard of student faculty basketball and dodgeball, but are you ready for student teacher wrestling? Hear me out. Is it the worst idea? Maybe. 100% safe? No. But fun to watch? Of course. Now, this year has been tough more than anything, whether it's walking to a room filled with fear and other things in calculus class, or being exhausted after long Wednesdays. But I thought I'd share a wrestling story to cheer you up. So in 9th grade, I was just strolling through the hallway when I see this huge shadow form in front of me, and you guessed it, it was Coach Paul. I looked up, and all I heard was, "Kid, we need you on the mat. You're wrestling, kid." I didn't know who this guy was, but I knew I needed to wrestle. So my parents, of course, said no. Big mistake. "Now, which mom's them a kid?" I gave it to him, but told him she wouldn't budge. Coach called my mom, and I have no idea what was said, but he convinced her to let me wrestle. So what does this have to do with Zach? Just how Coach Paul fought for me, a tiny, weak, fragile freshman, I'm going to fight for you. You're my team, and with all the problems we face this year, nothing is going to knock us down again. Freshmen, you adjusted in this chaotic year. Sophomores, you're going to be upperclassmen. Seniors, you didn't complain this whole year. And juniors, we're going to be seniors, baby. Now I know I'm not the tallest or the biggest guy, but I'm your guy. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to fight for you. So if you want to join our team, vote Prez, I'll do the rest.
Hello to the entire upper school. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mia Radford. I was new to St. John's my freshman year, and now I have dreams to be able to represent you in my final one. I'll be completely honest. I knew coming to St. John's from a public middle school of 1,500 would not be easy. Combine it with St. John's academic rigor, and I knew I was in for a trek through the Himalayan mountains rather than a Sunday amble through the park. From balancing academics and athletics, all while making new friends, it was more than an adjustment period. But 3 years later, I am proud to say that I truly feel like I planted my flag at the top of that mountain. Whether it may be laughing with my friends on the Great Lawn so hard that it hurts, or watching Senior Chapel, I like to take a step back and realize how much I love this place. Despite how caught I was in the seemingly unrelenting avalanche of high school, the thing that kept me going was my friends, peers, and teachers. I'm ready to be a prefect not only for myself, but for the people and the school that I love so much. There's nothing I want to do more than to give back to the community that has given me almost everything, or at least be a minuscule part of the SJS legacy. My one semester on SAC has been one of the most rewarding throughout my time here. I've met so many unique people who are so confident in their voices and leadership abilities. If you vote for me to be one of your senior prefects, I promise to take every single one of your suggestions to heart and work my hardest to accomplish them, no matter how mundane or complex they may seem. I cannot make any promises on how many of those suggestions will be fulfilled, but I can promise you that they will be heard. Because we all have mountains to climb, but it is much easier to climb them when you have someone to lean on, just like I did. Thank you so much for your time, and go Mavs!
Hello, SJS! I'm Patman! However, you can call me Patty, or even the notorious PAT. Really, whatever you prefer. But what I want to be more than anything is your head prefect next school year. Why, you may ask? Well, the proof is in the pudding. In my brief 3-year tenure at SJS, I have managed to run for SAC 6 times. Now that has got to be some sort of school record. Throughout these attempts, I've had one successful election. While it may have been because everybody got sick of hearing my speeches, it gave me the opportunity to see how I could serve you. A leadership trait that qualifies me to do so is that I can battle adversity. Freshman year, I arrived at SJS a clueless and fearful new student. Knowing basically nobody, the first impression I gave to my new classmates was giving the world's most formal, embarrassing SAC speech of all time. I just didn't get the memo that speeches were supposed to be funny and entertaining, so giving a moving speech that contained a quote from a politician's funeral really left some puzzled looks in the audience. Shocking they didn't find my words as inspirational as I thought they were. Adversity similar to this is what a good head prefect will have to face. With these especially difficult times, strong leadership is crucial. I want to be the guy you could trust to lead the student body through the ups and the downs. I will be the hero Houston deserves. A watchful protector. The Dark Knight. I will be your fearless Batman. I'll leave you with words from Ron Burgundy in the funeral scene at Anchorman 2. Bats are the chicken of caves. Keeping that in mind, if you want SJS to be worry-free, vote the notorious PAT.
Hello, upper school students. My name is Sophie Lesniak, and you may know me from class, volleyball, softball, Wii, imagination, quadrangle, or Lua. Hopefully it is not from when I ran freshman year and lost. I thought about starting my speech entertaining you with stories of courage and perseverance after 2 fender benders within 9 days of receiving my license, and the perseverance of getting back on the proverbial horse with many of you riding shotgun. But instead, I will use my minute to talk about Prefect. Running for Prefect, I want to emphasize where I fit into the connection and relationship between grade level SAC representatives and the prefects. I can collaborate, support, and find ways to bring joy and a voice to all grades. Working with others, I can help strengthen our community, St. John's Upper School. Elected Prefect, I want to increase communication between the student body and SAC representatives. In my years as a WE leader, we have improved our club and community mostly by listening to what each member has to say. Through conversations, emails, and anonymous comments, we have been able to strengthen the unity within our club. I want to bring this opportunity to the entire upper school. You know me, and you know we work well together. You know I work hard, and you know I listen, and you know I want us to have a fantastic new year, leaving a legacy of reputation and leadership. We can do this together. Vote for me, Sophie Lesniak.
My name is Stefan Gustafson, and I would be honored to represent all of you as your prefect, because I truly believe in the power of conversation, listening and engaging, a combination that creates more understanding and accepting student body. Since my freshman year, I've learned so much just by listening to others and having the kind of open dialogue about pressing societal issues that Dr. Batiste has orchestrated in my advisory, and the powerful chapels and assemblies presented by student-run clubs like PRISM and WE, as well as the student affinity groups. Participating and listening to these conversations are integral for fellow St. John students to truly understand a world on Claremont and the world around us. As a prefect, I would work with these clubs and affinity groups to help these discussions reach a larger audience and improve in participation, as I know firsthand the tremendous positive impact it can have on someone. I genuinely care about people, particularly St. John's community, and I think I can create personal relationships with just about anybody I meet, which would help the prefects accomplish the goals set by you, the student body. I'm accessible and approachable and promise to deliver with my lighthearted but focused disposition. I'm easy to find, and I hope to help change St. John's for the better through your vote. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Vikram, and I want to be your prefect. One thing I want you to know about me is that I'm incredibly hardworking. I'm so hardworking that I decided to start writing the speech a full week before it was due. Actually, that was a lie. I'd planned to start writing this speech in advance, but instead I decided to watch cat videos all day. Every day when I was driving home, I told myself, this is the day that I'll get all my work done, my SAC speech, my history paper, and I'm going to study for my calculus quiz next week. And you know what? As soon as I got home, I did all that stuff. I wrote my SAC speech, I finished my history paper, and I studied for 3 hours. Actually, that was another lie. As soon as I got home, I jumped in bed, took a nap, and watched a documentary about the Great Lakes, because even 14,000-year-old lakes are more interesting than homework. The next day, I told myself the same thing. Today is the day that I get all my work done. You can probably guess what happened next. As soon as I got home, I jumped in bed, took a nap, and instead of watching a documentary about the Great Lakes, I watched Avengers Endgame for the 4th time. This happened every day for several days, until the due date for the speech. And on that fateful day, I came up with my genius plan. Instead of working on the paper all day, I decided to waste both of my frees, and then start when I had 1 hour to write the speech. Genius, I know. That brings me to the present, though, where I'm currently writing this speech about my habitual procrastination. What does any of this tell you about me? On the surface, it may seem like I'm a habitual procrastinator, but I prefer to say I work best under pressure. As your prefect, I will put this skill of mine to use. I will work hard to bring you guys more free dress days and expand uniform choices. I will push for cafe access for all grades, and I will plan even more fun SAC events like a second spike ball tournament and even more holiday candy. No matter what your idea is, I will listen and try my hardest to make it a reality. Remember, vote for the man of the people. Vote Vikram Shah.